is going on, how you guys are feeling, what's been working for you, what plan maybe have you put in place that you found works, doesn't work, whatever's going on. So Justin, tell me what's going on first in this first week. Hey, Stace. Can you hear me? I'm talking to you, Justin.
Oh, you want me to start?
Yeah.
All right. Oh man, this week was like it was definitely trying. I felt low energy. I definitely felt like it impacted that part of me. Usually, I'm on the streets a lot, so it's like, when I was working, I was definitely feeling like I lagged a lot
Right.
of, a lot of myself. I mean, usually I'm very like, I could keep up with everything. I could do things, but my workouts were just, from the beginning to, I'll say about Friday night, I had the best workout Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. Those first 3 days are really tough because when you really look at it, you're not getting a whole lot of calories. You're not getting a whole lot of protein in there, which is why you definitely were feeling that way. And did you add in the extra protein like I kind of suggested that you did?
Yeah, I did like ground turkey with some stuff, like small amount. And sometimes I felt like so low energy that it was like, man, nothing. Like I felt like junk, and I never felt like that.
Right.
It was like a shock.
How are you feeling now? You feel better?
Yeah, I'm feeling great now.
Okay, good.
It's a lot different now, like compared to, I'll say, Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday.
Right. Those first 3 days. Laura, what about you? How'd you feel? I know that you're usually hungry most of the time.
Yeah, I was hungry. I eat like a regular diet for me, so I was definitely hungry. I didn't lose energy though, so I give you a ton of credit.
Oh, wow.
Through those few days without energy, because that would have killed me. And even though, because I was able to work out all 3 days, like pretty, and I was just hungry, but I didn't get nasty. That was good. I didn't get hangry. I don't think, but I asked my husband.
I don't think.
But yeah, I mean, day 2 was the hardest. Day 3, I was the last day. Overall, I'd say I was really, really proud of myself when I got through day 3 because it wasn't the easiest as far as food. And you knew that last day, if I had to I love veggies. If I had to eat another raw veggie, I was like, my stomach, I was hungry, but nauseous. I didn't want another raw veggie. And
right.
I did spray that night on my veggies, and I roasted them just with some spray and seasoning, and it was so much better. So,
good.
And since then it's been good. I've felt good, and I like I said, I dropped some weight, so I was happy with that. And yeah, I'm excited to get into. I loved having my free meals this weekend. And it was a little bit of a mix of some free meals and, wine yesterday, but it was still, I think a pretty good balance. And now I'm really excited. I made all my stuff for this week and I'm ready to jump back in. And I'm just going to say that when you put the protein powder, you suggested for tomorrow, protein powder and yogurt. I did it in that whipped cottage cheese. And I don't know what anybody else uses for protein, but I used Quest protein. And I had the, Oh, okay. Sorry. I have the cookies and cream. When you put that with whipped cottage cheese, it tastes like cannoli.
Oh yeah.
I ate it tonight and for tomorrow because I'm going to be on the run. So, and I just licked the spoon. It tastes like healthy cannoli cream. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, I'm gonna write that down. It's gonna be a new recipe.
Oh, it's Quest protein. It was cookies and cream. I love Quest protein, whether it's so better than any other protein. And but that cookies and cream, and I don't know how it would be with yogurt, but with the whipped cottage cheese,
banging.
Good.
All right, good. I like that. That's a really good thing to put in, like high quality protein and still kind of curb that sweet tooth. So I really like that. Thanks for sharing that.
So good. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, what about you, Stace? Tell me about your first couple days.
They were fine. I didn't have low energy. It's still, even though it was just a few vegetables, it still felt like a lot of food to me because, I'm not used to eating tons of food.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked out normally. I was still going to class. I've trained on a lot less. So it was good. I really didn't have any issues with it.
Oh, okay, good. Have you guys taken a look at the next week? So the next week coming up, week 2, is there any kind of questions there or concerns that you guys want to talk about? I'm taking a look at it right now too.
No, since after I ate the cottage cheese, you let me know that I can substitute stuff,
Yeah.
which was good. Although, Laura did tell me about in advance, she told me about trying whipped, which I will say was better. It was nice not having to eat those little chunky things. I can't even stand to look at cottage cheese. It really makes me ill. But I just didn't enjoy the flavor. Like, and you
Right.
talked about cannolis. Like, I don't like that kind of thing. So I'm just glad that I'm not going to have to eat any more cottage cheese.
Right.
That I'll just
So
substitute.
I
it for
apologize for not letting you guys know that
No,
sooner.
that's fine.
But yeah, anything that's on that approved food list is there so that you can swap anything out. So looking forward, there's Greek yogurt in there, right? So Laura, if you want to replace the Greek yogurt with the cottage cheese, that's fine, right? So any other thing that is comparable or like under that same list when it comes to like you want to replace protein with a protein, a veggie with a veggie, right? That's where you're going to go for that. Now there's a considerable, is that the right word I'm looking for? A lot more food coming up this next week. So if you kind of look at it, there's at least 3 big meals or 3 meals, and then 2 snacks. And if you're working out that day, it'll even be another snack. So we kind of are building you guys back up. So Justin, I promise you'll have a lot more energy coming up on this next week. It'll be a lot more food. Yeah. How about like planning and stuff, or like the schedule wise when you're looking at this and making sure that you're getting it and everything? Because that's the other piece that I want to talk about is the total at the end of the day is the most important thing. So if you need to like switch out something, like say the eggs for meal 1 doesn't work, you'd rather have like a shake or whatever else is in that day, you can swap, like stack them wherever you need to for that day. But I care about you guys getting that whole total at the bottom. So total at the end of the day should be all of that food eventually.
That was good that you had said that before, that because there's sometimes I think, oh God, I wish that I could have a smoothie either like later on in the evening. So it's fine as long as we just get everything in.
Yeah, exactly. That's my biggest concern is just, are you getting everything in? And how you get it in, where you put it. If you have to put 2 meals together, right, because of your schedule, whatever, that's fine. It's more of the total at the end of the day, like you said. So
for me today, by the time I worked out and got I had a shake this morning after I worked out. It was like, I drank it from like 10 to 10:30. And then I brought my steamed veggies to the beach, my nuts. And I had the eggs when I got home instead. And I missed my hummus today. And I've got, my chicken marinating and all my veggies ready to go. But I'm going to miss the hummus and the snack today. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. So for the most part, I want you to get like 80 to 90% of the food. If you are so full at the end of the day and you're like, I swear to God, if I have to eat this last, whatever it is, I'm going to vomit, right? Or whatever, you know what I mean? That's okay. Like, I would rather you listen to your body, but you should be getting 80 to 90% of that food in if you can, like in general, right? But if you can get the whole day in, you want to get the whole day in. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Stacey knows who I'm talking to.
Last week you didn't want us to roast. Well, not roast. You didn't want us to use like olive oil on the veggies. So I've been, steaming or raw pretty much all week. One day, that last day on Wednesday, I sprayed them, like I said, with spray, and I roasted them that way. But can we start to use olive oil? Like I have my veggies prepped already in the kitchen for tonight's dinner. But I didn't use olive oil. I used spray on one of them, and the other I just used like chicken broth and seasoning and stuff. And
chicken broth, you're so genius. I would have never thought of that.
Well, I just need them to cook. So can we start with olive oil?
Yeah, I would definitely measure that out. If you look in like meal 3 on the first day, it says 1 tablespoon of homemade dressing. So that's going to be made with olive oil. So you can start to put that in, but I still like be mindful and make sure that you're not every single one is that, right? So steam them, do whatever you need to do to your veggies so that you can eat them, that they're palpable, and that you can get them in. And that's completely fine. Like if you want to cook them and not always eat them raw, that's cool. But just still try and get at least half of them without that added fat, and then you can have the other half with the olive oil or whatever else you want to cook them in.
No, that
helps. Broth is a good idea.
You still want us to try to eat some raw also, right?
A couple of them, yeah. So, but like with Laura said, the first 3 days, it's like there's so much raw veggies you can have that it might start. Justin's like, I was so over these veggies. But like at least have 1 or 2 servings of the raw veggies, and then from there cook them however you like to cook them, whether that's lazily in the microwave or whether that's pan-seared or roasted or steamed, right? Do whatever you got to do to kind of get them in there. Okay.
Okay.
And then for tomorrow, I already made my
Laura, you're breaking up.
be all the way up in my Jersey office. So, okay.
All I
don't know
heard
what to do.
was something to the office.
So I made my meal for tomorrow, my lunch
Okay.
for my greens and the veggies.
Mhm.
That's just all raw stuff. But instead of using an olive oil based homemade dressing, I just put a bunch of like fresh salsa, not like jarred, but like fresh salsa on it as my dressing. Is that okay? Because then I'll save my oil.
Yeah, that's perfect. Just like you're kind of moving meals around, you can do that too. So if you rather have salsa on there and then save the oil for later with another meal, go ahead and do it. That's perfect.
I have a few questions.
Yeah.
Are you guys having, are you planning for the week, or are you planning mostly for that day, the night before? And
So
that's something,
Laura's a good planner. She probably has her stuff planned for the week.
okay.
Well, I've got all my food for the week. But Justin, for me, I make my meals on Sunday for like as long as I could remember. Like I
Yeah.
always so it's routine for me. So made yet. Like I've got some veggies chopped and I do work from home a lot, so I have a little bit of flexibility there, but I do try to plan for the week. Like I'll try to peel my grapefruit if I know I'm going to be in a meeting. I'll peel that in advance so that I'm not like the idiot at the table peeling a grapefruit. I'll have like all my hard-boiled eggs made, all that stuff. I try to make my salads or my whatever it is that we're going to have. I try to do that in advance. I find that it makes it so much I'd rather put in a few hours on a Sunday, and then it makes it easier during the week for me.
Okay.
I
yeah,
do
I'm
kind
actually,
of. Go
I'm
ahead.
learning that now. It turned out a little bit easier for me this week. I got my schedule switched. I was 11:30 to 9:30. So basically, I would wake up, go get a workout in, and try to cook as much food as I can for that day. And then I wasn't getting home till 9:30 at night. Now my schedule this week, I got switched to morning shifts, so I could cook the night prior for everything tomorrow and the day after, and it helps me out a little bit better.
Right.
So
Yeah, I think you'd be. I find that's so much better. Like I said, I've already made I'll have time to make it tomorrow, but I've already made my snack, and my salad, because I just find that it takes the stress off in the morning.
Right.
yeah, I'll definitely I'll utilize that. Obviously, my job doesn't dictate what schedule I'm going to be. So, but this week my family went away to Mexico. Lucky them, but I couldn't. I just obviously watching all the dogs, and I was like, can I get put on day shift or whatever? So it actually made it easier. I'm going to go meal prepping for tonight. I'll be able to I'll go shopping a little bit after this, and I'll be able to get everything done. And it'll probably be easier for me this week.
Right. Justin, you might have to play around with that plan or that prepping, like, so that you find a method that works for every certain shift. Like, I know there's so many different ways you can do it. You can do it like Laura does, where Sunday you kind of get everything. You can stock your fridge full of everything you need, which I would say would be the number one thing. Like, find a day that you can go grocery shopping and get everything that you need. I'm the type of person that just cooks a lot of my proteins, and I'll just chop the veggies. And then from there, I'll freeze everything. Well, I'll freeze the proteins, and I'll pull them out the night before, just so that I know I have that set. And then I can set whatever other stuff I want with it, so that it's not like constant leftovers, or it's not like the constant same thing over and over again, because I get tired of that. So it's going to be just kind of playing around with, okay, this method works. So you sound like you have a good plan for this week. This method works for this week when I'm on this type of shift, and maybe write that down, jot that down somewhere so that you know next time, and you don't have to like refigure it out. And then when you get the next shift, you kind of figure out what's the new method that needs to happen so that I can be successful when I have this schedule, right? So you're going to have to do a little extra work because of the schedule stuff that you got going on.
Yeah, and I'll be fine. I'm actually off I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that helps a lot. But then the following week I'm overnight. So life of a cop. So sometimes that doesn't help out. But it's definitely going to be easier this week. So it's something that I'm going to play with, and so I'll go night by night, being able to cook what I have to.
Okay, good. Did you have any other questions? No, like you said, I had a couple.
I'll think of it as we go.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the free meals, right? So if you notice in the sheet, you can place them anywhere this week, right? Last week, you could place them anywhere if you absolutely needed to, but I want you to kind of stack that day. This week, have at it, right? You have 3 free meals that you can place anywhere that you need to. So if you got a night out, right, I usually always say place those free meals around some type of outing, some type of social event, some type of thing that you're going to really enjoy it, and you're not going to want to worry about, okay, do I have to pack my steamed vegetables and be that person at the table out to dinner with a bunch of friends kind of a thing. So play around with those. I would say another part of a plan that you could do is like sit down and figure out where would that possibly happen and schedule them there so that you're ready for it and you don't need to worry about it. Anybody have any questions about that?
Nope.
Nope. All right, good. Stacey's like, that's all news.
I know all about the free meal thing.
Even though you don't use them that much?
No, I do. But I think for me, because like my free meal yesterday, it wasn't really a meal. We went to the boardwalk. I took my nieces were visiting. So I had like some fried pickles. So that was kind of my free, it was more like a snack than just a meal.
Yeah.
So I don't really plan kind of free meals, but I guess maybe I will this week because Wednesday night I'm going to a concert.
Yeah.
So although I'm still going to plan to eat my my dinner beforehand, I guess I'll just keep it open in the event I end up drinking, like a beer or 2.
Right. Yeah, being flexible like that. And if you don't, that's fine. Now you have this meal, you can move wherever you want to. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you can always do it that way too. If you notice, like, I don't really have anything going on, but like something pops up, like you can just shift them around where you need to, which works.
Okay.
How about workouts? Did you guys take a look at the workouts for the next week? Are you guys, I know Laura and Stacy, you're not really following the ones in the sheet, right? You're kind of doing your own thing. You too, Justin, are you doing your own thing as well?
Yeah, I'm doing my own thing.
Okay. All right, good.
I started to lift. I lift a lot now, so I
Good.
try to do like 3-4 days a week lifting.
Mm-hmm.
But I also added like insanity at nighttime. I told you, so I try to add that in and get the
Good for
cardio.
you.
So I'm trying. It's something now though. It's not. This week. Well, I'll tell you what. Stepping on the scale at the end of the week wasn't really telling of how hard this week was. So
Right.
Definitely the numbers. I think I get caught up in the number game. And
Oh my God, I totally do. It can ruin my day.
hard. Yeah, I don't allow it to like. I emailed Courtney and I was like, man, I was frustrated from the week and told her how this week was definitely different as far as I worked out. I'll say 4 days this week, and I felt like crap every workout until Friday, but I got it in and I tried to, but I had zero energy from them days.
Yeah.
So.
Which makes sense, but like I said, this next week you definitely will have way more energy. What was I gonna say? And making sure that I know we talked about your sleep's pretty good, but I want to make sure you're still getting like stress relief and recovery, especially if you're gonna be hitting 2 days. So making sure you're taking care of yourself and you're recovering from those training sessions are probably going to be more important than necessarily always the training sessions themselves. So if you're feeling good and you feel like you can give it everything that you got, go for it. If your body's like, listen, I'm tired, then maybe just kind of go through the motions, still get it in, but make sure you're getting that recovery piece as well. I know you're sleeping like a baby, so. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Get that PTO time. Is that what it's called? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, question. I have another question for the vegetables that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard. Obviously, Lauren, you were talking about the raw vegetables. I couldn't do it no more. It got to the point where I wanted to throw it in the blender and put it in the smoothie. At that point.
Did you do that?
The one day I did.
No, how was that?
The raw vegetable, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I put the broccoli in. I had spinach. I had. What else? I have cucumbers and carrots, and I just threw them all in.
Savage. And would you just chug it?
Yeah.
What was it? Did you have a flavored protein? Like
Yeah,
was it vanilla?
I do chocolate.
Oh my God, with like broccoli and that sounds horrible.
Stacey, I made the same exact face. I was like, oh God.
I did water, I did chocolate, I did what else did I do? I did blueberries, I did bananas, I did
so you had like a super green
wow.
shake.
Yeah, like I was like I threw
Justin wasn't playing.
And I split it up for like 3 days or whatever to just get rid of the to get rid of the raw vegetables.
You're
So it wasn't
So
that
fun.
bad,
You
though.
must have had to eat that thing with a spoon.
Nah, it blended well. So, but
Wow.
I'll tell you, like, I don't remember the flavor. I don't, you know, it went down quick.
He blacked out. He couldn't.
Yeah, it went down
remember.
quick.
That's so
I
funny.
mean, so I'm not complaining. So I got it in.
I mean, if you want to keep doing it like that, if you want to keep doing it like that, that's no problem, right? I don't have no
Yeah.
problem with it. But like looking ahead at the week, there isn't as many as there was. So if you look like meal 3, there's your vegetables there. Meal 5, you have a cup of vegetables, but everything else is, Greek yogurt, eggs, Ezekiel toast, banana, that kind of stuff. So hopefully you won't be too vegged out by this week, right?
Yeah.
Like
I
I
can
said-
do the sweet potatoes and stuff like that. I love that stuff, but
Right.
man, it was rough.
Yeah. Well,
I won't
that's
be
behind us.
asking for that recipe for sure.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. We
What
lost
did everybody?
Laura
How did
somewhere.
everybody do their smoothie? Like, how did
My smoothie, I'm so boring. I eat the same things over and over. But I do pretty much that same smoothie I told you about. I use chocolate, or sometimes I use vanilla. But I pretty much use the peanut butter powder. I use some
Okay.
water. Every now and then I'll put a couple of ice cubes in it. And I'll add sometimes vanilla extract, or sometimes I have a caramel flavored extract that I'll add in it. Every now and then I'll put like a half a banana, but most time I don't even do that. So it's just chocolate and peanut butter powder is pretty much what I do.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look for the peanut butter powder tonight.
Yeah. And definitely look into the recipe book, because I know that there's a couple different recipes that you could do, and just play around with it. And typically, usually what I'll do is whatever I have is what's going in there. Like,
Yeah,
we're
that's-
just going to make it work today kind of
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
So that works.
I'm glad.
I don't like a lot
I
of
did
food
the
in my
avocado
food.
in the one too.
Yeah, avocado is okay. Just make
I
sure
love
you're watching your
avocado.
portions, right?
Yeah.
Quarter to a half an avocado in there.
A quarter to a half.
Yeah.
So,
So show. All right, guys. I think Zoom's about to cut me off. They said you got 10 minutes or it's over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with it. I gotta check my account. I don't know. This is being weird.
now, how is hummus? Is there? I see on the thing this week, hummus is a thing. I never had it.
It's time you try some. It's just basically chickpeas that they like ground up, put some seasoning in it, and make it like a dip. So you
It
can make
sounds
your own
gross.
hummus.
It sounds gross, but it's
Never
good.
It's
had
really
it.
good. Yeah, it's
All right.
good. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess
it's-
I'm gonna go shopping for it.
Yeah, you better go. I want to see a picture of your grocery cart on the Facebook page. Laura was like, listen, where's everybody at? We're not seeing any pictures, anything anymore. So, that motivates her. So we got to stick together as a team. So make sure you're still putting at least a couple pictures up there of either your grocery shopping cart or your food, so that we all know we're on the same page. And
Okay.
don't forget to rewatch your why video if you didn't do that, right? Rewatch it, remind yourself why, right, you're doing this, why you're eating all these crazy vegetables, right, why you got the broccoli farts all the time, whatever's going on, right, so that you can stay motivated, because we're a third in and we're almost there, right? We're getting there.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? We're good?
I know, I'm good.
Yeah? I
Yeah.
don't know where Laura is, but I think she lost her connection. If you guys need anything else, right, message me, email me, whatever you got to do. I'm going to post this up in there so that everybody can watch it later. But I'm proud of you guys. Good job. Nice
All
first
right.
week. It's in the books.
Yay.
Definitely.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye, guys. I'll see you. I'll see you soon. But have a great night.
All right.
Okay,
Have a good one.
thanks.
Thanks.
All right.
All right,
Later.
bye.
Bye.